my cleaning method is to try to do a little something every day, but every once in a while, I need to do like a whole reset day. I don't plan these really. It's just kind of like, um, if somebody's coming into town, or I know we're going to have a lot of visitors, or I just look around and think, these things need to be getting done, I will take several hours and just kind of try to do a whole house reset. And that's what I'm doing today. So come along with me, and we're just going to chat about keeping systems going, for systems in your house, for all the good things you need that your house provides, and how I keep my laundry room flowing with laundry all the time, and what exactly a reset day might look like with cleaning schedule. So here I am in my laundry room. I'm really lucky to have a dedicated laundry room. I love having a dedicated laundry room. So it allows me to have a system where I do laundry constantly, 2, 3 loads a day. We have 5 kids, and it's summertime now, so things are getting more dirty, and we've got swimsuits and heavy rotation. Um, and I just like to keep, I have this industrial style laundry hamper, and the kids know to throw things in there, bring their hampers down from their rooms, hopefully regularly. And then I will just do the laundry. I don't want anyone touching the machines except for me. But once it comes out of the dryer, um, my kids do most of the folding and sorting, and we have a basket system where they can sort it straight out of the dryer into their baskets, and then either hopefully take it upstairs and put it away, or get dressed out of their baskets some days. The pantry is one room in the house where I pretty much just organize it myself. I don't ask other people to do it because I have a very specific way I want things to go, and I feel like explaining that to anyone else is kind of confusing. So, that being said, the kids do try to put things away when we're tidying up after meals, and things often end up in the wrong spot, no matter how many times I try to explain. Um, so I'll try to come in here just when it is starting to look really cluttery. Today, like I said, it's like a reset day. So I've gotten in the pantry, and I'm just going to reset it back to the way I want it to be. I love, love, love having a pantry. This is the first house I've ever lived in where I had like a dedicated pantry. I've always kept food and things and in the kitchen upper cupboards in all my other kitchens and apartments and houses. And this house, I don't know, this house is really old, of course, really old. And we don't know what this room was originally used for, but it did have these beautiful built in shelves. When we moved in, the whole thing was the color of dirt. It had maybe been painted one time in its entire lifetime, which is really remarkable considering the age of the house, like 250 years. So my husband fixed the plaster work, which was cracked, and then I painted this whole room, ceiling, floors, walls, trim, when I was about 7 months pregnant one sweltering summer. And I was so pregnant that I couldn't really fit in here with the ladder. So every time I needed to turn and do another side, I had to take the ladder out, then move myself out, then move myself back in, move the ladder back in. It was, people who, my renovation is a joy and a challenge. So anyway, now we have these great built-ins. It's a wonderful thing to have a pantry. I'm lucky to have this huge one. It is a little far from our kitchen, which is because our kitchen at one point was a freestanding building that got enclosed into the house maybe in the 1920s or so, as was this room as well, the pantry. So the whole thing feels kind of like a dog trot, if you're familiar with that. Like they would have gone outside and gone into the kitchen, which was separate for the house for fire safety reasons, and then gone it maybe. I'm assuming they must have kept this room full of food. I really don't know though. Anyway, we keep it full of food, and it works very well, like dry goods, non-perishables. And we've painted it much brighter colors than it was originally painted. It is a bit far from the kitchen. I really don't mind it. I have to walk past my laundry room, and then I get to this room from the kitchen. Um, I guess I think it might drive some people crazy, but it's just it's so nice to have a pantry that I don't even mind. Now, someday there's another room right across the hall from the pantry that was their original kitchen at one time. It was their winter kitchen, so it was inside the house. Has a gigantic fireplace that's now behind some plaster work, but we know it's there. So if I ever make that the kitchen, which is a dream, then the pantry would make much more sense because it would be right off the kitchen. And that's what makes me think it must have been the pantry, because you can make a really easy dash across the hall to the pantry from that room, but not from the room the kitchen is currently in. But anyway, I like to keep my pantry organized myself, and then the kids and my husband can pretty much keep up with it, but I will come in and reset it, fine tune it, wipe the shelves down. Not every week, maybe every couple of weeks. One room, or we have two bathrooms, and I like to clean them myself. My kids help a ton with keeping a house clean. We all pitch in and work really hard, but I prefer to do the bathrooms myself. Maybe when they're older, I will train them in how I want the bathroom clean, but I like to have it done to a certain standard, and I really enjoy cleaning them actually, so I just do it myself. I mentioned last week my sister-in-law was here helping me do some gardening, and she gave me some advice for my bathroom plants as well. She said, just go ahead and, add some potting mix in there, and it looks like they need it. So I did finally, I got in here and I added the potting mix. I still have this rain point system that automatically waters the plants, and I've had it, I don't know, 6 or 8 months now, something like that, and it's working really well. I love not having to remember to water. I just have it set so they get watered about twice a week, which is what geraniums need, which is what I mostly have in here. And then my poinsettias are still alive. All of the blooms are off, but they're actually sprouting new little leaves, and I have less of the water irrigator things in there, so they get water twice a week, but much less water, because poinsettias take less water. So that system's working really well, and they did seem to perk up after I put the potting soil in and just kind of cleaned up some of the dead matter and that kind of thing. This is copper bucket, is I fill that up and it works with the rain point system. So as long as you just have a bucket and you have it set up in your app how many days a week you want it watered, it'll use solar power and it will just go ahead and water on that day. So as part of my reset this week, I decided to just take my time and clean the bathrooms a little slower. I usually, in like a regular week, I can clean both my bathrooms in 10 or 15 minutes, but that's like a speed clean, and every once in a while they do need a deeper clean. Like I'll get more of the tile and the baseboards and that kind of thing, and that's what I was working on today. But one of my kids must be making me laugh. I can't remember what we were talking about. So what I'll do is I make a homemade DIY disinfectant cleaner. The recipe is on Clean Mama's blog, and it's in her book as well. That's the one I like to use, and I'll scent it with lemon, rosemary, lavender, whatever essential oils I happen to have on hand, and those are the ones I like the best. And I'll spray everything with this disinfectant, like the toilet and the sink, and in this room we just have a big walk-in shower, so the shower and the shower tiles, and then I'll just let it sit for like 10 minutes and let it do its work. I found with DIY cleaners that, or like all natural cleaners, if you let them sit a while, they'll do the work they need to do. If they're not exactly the same as like the industrial strength cleaners that you can spray and then immediately it's like this clean, but they do work. Just give them a little bit of extra time. And I love using this stuff that doesn't make me cough when I spray it like my old bathroom cleaners did. So that keeps me using it. I just like to know that there's not all that icky stuff in the air when I'm cleaning my bathroom. I love the lavender and rosemary smells. I'm really hooked on the scents. I recently started making my own laundry soap as well, for the same reason. I just wanted something that smelled better. The chemical scents are starting to get to me. I don't know if that's part of the aging process, but they definitely are. So I just go in here. This is like a wet room. My husband and I designed this so the whole there's no rim in the shower. It just kind of gently slopes down to a drain, and it's barely perceptible, but it does. So none of the water comes running out onto the rest of the bathroom floor. It does all go down the drain really nicely, and then we just have the shower curtain around it. And we did that for a few reasons. One was just simplicity of design because we DIY'd the whole thing ourselves. I should say my husband did. He did the tile work, and another reason is aging in place, just thinking to the future. If we ever have mobility issues, it's much easier to get into a shower that doesn't have any kind of rim or lip on it. So that's a great reason to consider making, some people call it a wet room, where, just the only thing dividing it is this shower curtain. So we love it. We've had it up and running now for a little over a year, and it's just the best shower. I absolutely love it. It's my favorite shower ever, and it's very easy to clean as well because you don't have like all these nooks and crannies. It's just tile. There's no little rim, there's no caulking, so you can get the tile and grout pretty clean without any extra doors and all that sort of thing. While I'm waiting for my DIY cleaner to do its job, I will clean the mirrors and the glass to pass the time. If I was doing my speed clean, I would run upstairs and start working on the second bathroom while the first one was getting, under its spray. But today I'm just doing them one at a time and taking a more leisurely pace. So I did the glass and just kind of looked around and looked at other things I could take care of while I was waiting for the cleaner to work. Once I felt like enough time had gone by, I started cleaning. I always go in the same order. I clean the toilet first, and then I clean the shower area, and then I clean the sink, and then last I will do the floor. First, I'll sweep the floor. I really had to sweep it today because I spilled potting soil everywhere. And some days, like on a quick, just regular day, I might mop the floor a different day. Like usually, our mop day for the whole house is Thursday, but I do. I kind of go back and forth. It just depends how I feel. Like I do have this system where like Mondays is bathroom days, Tuesday is dust the whole house, which the kids help out with. Wednesday is sweep the whole house, which the kids also help out with. Thursday is mop the whole house, which the kids also help out with. And the bathroom mopping would go in there, but they are really small rooms, and I I feel like they need their floors like really really detailed clean quite a lot. I guess they just get a lot of traffic, and since we have this wet room too, I like the shower area to be really really clean. So more and more I've ended up just mopping the bathroom floors when I do the bathrooms on Mondays, or in this case, like this is kind of a special one-off reset day, and I'm gonna mop the floors. And I'm doing my Marie Kondo mopping, like yoga mopping, where you do like a down dog and scoot across the floor with your rag up and down, up and down. She says this is how the kids in Japanese school children do it, and it's also supposed to be really good for your back, of course, to be in down dog, and I really enjoy it. So I've just added that recently as like my new mopping method, and then in between when I'm not doing such a deep clean, like I said, I just use a little spray mop with a washable microfiber mop head that it velcros on, and I can take it off and throw it in the wash. I have quite a few mops like that where you can take the microfiber off of it and wash it and then reuse it. I love reusable cleaning products. Um, I love the Swiffer, but I it's so expensive to keep buying all of those things, and then you have to just throw them away. And so this is like my my answer to the Swiffer is to get these mops with the microfiber heads that you can wash and reuse, and I am really happy with them. But the best way really is to clean on your hands and knees. Good old fashioned cleaning floors on your hands and knees. Really, nothing is better, especially to get around all the little things, nooks and crannies, and all of that. Um, the one place where I will splurge with cleaning products, so I DIY a lot of my I DIY my disinfecting spray. I have a DIY laundry soap that I've recently added into my rotation. I have a DIY dish soap. Um, and I'm motivated to make those less by. I'm glad they're less toxic and stuff, but what I really like is that I can get them to smell really good with essential oils, and I just love that luxurious feeling of having something that's scented so beautifully. I just love the feeling of luxury that it brings to life, and it makes me really happy. So I've been slow to for years I felt like I didn't have time to make my own soaps and stuff, but it really is a question. It's not so much that you don't have time. You just I found like it has to become something you can do automatically. Yeah, the first couple times, I had to look at the recipe. I would run out, and that would be really inconvenient. And then I would give up and buy a store bought product. This went on for years actually, but I'm on a good streak with it now. And I think it's just because I can make it more or less automatically without thinking about it. And that I have found is the key to adding in like a new extra with homekeeping is if it's something you can do sort of automatically. Um, I also make my own foaming hand soap, but then I also always like to have bar soap in the bathrooms because I know that, for example, my husband really doesn't like liquid soap. He really likes to use a bar, and I guess other people might feel the same way. And our sinks are really old fashioned, and they have like a little depression in them, like indentation for a soap bar. So I like to put them in there. And I like to get these little Italian soaps. I get them at TJ Maxx. They always have great soaps from Italy there, and they smell so good. And they last forever. They're kind of like hard soap. I don't know, like sometimes you get soap and it has so much lotion in it and it kind of disintegrates. But these seem perfect for hand washing, and they're nice and small, so they fit right in those little indentations in my old vintage sink. And the smell of these soaps is just delicious. My sister-in-law gave me this package. I'm almost out. I need to go and get some more. But each one had like a different combination of beautiful scent, and just makes me so happy. It feels so luxurious in the bathroom to have this bar soap from Italy that I got, that you can get really easily at TJ Maxx, but it feels so luxurious. I think I started to say earlier, but the one place I will splurge, and I'm totally hooked on disposable, um, what do you call those? Toilet wands. I I love them. Like that is one thing I will I will buy those. I'll buy the refill pack, and um, they just clean the toilet bowl so well, and then I just throw them away, and I'm totally hooked on them. So that's really my one splurge, and I feel like um, the cheapskate in me is always like, well, these are expensive. They cost, and they're just disposable. But I think I reuse so many things. I have reusable mops. I make my own soaps and detergents, so I think it kind of balances out that way. But um, I don't. It's nothing to feel guilty about either way. Even if you don't do all that stuff, they're just a wonderful product. Amazing. And I've been experimenting with different towels, hand towels in this bathroom. Right now, I've got these teal. They're actually tea towels, like for use in the kitchen, but I'm using them in the bathroom here. But I'm working on updating our towel collection, so I'm looking forward to talking about towels with you in an upcoming video. I have a lot of feelings about towels, but I look forward to sharing that with you in another video. I've got these little caddies where I keep all my stuff, and they get stored up in the laundry room. So finish that bathroom, and this is another thing I haven't done in a while because I kind of forgot that I could do it because this buffer came into my life relatively recently. My mother-in-law had it in her basement, and I inherited it. So if you've seen any of my floor waxing videos, we have tons of floors in here that need wax, and polishing. So I waxed this floor about 9 months ago, and in between waxes, you can buff it up with a little electric buffer and soft buffing pads, and it just restores the shine. It's amazing what it'll do, and it's also really really fun to just run the buffer around. So, but I kind of forget to do it because I it's just not quite part of what lives in my head yet as housekeeping tasks. Um, like it took me a few years to get down, and now it's just sort of set in stone in my head. The routine that I pretty much learned from Clean Mama, the weekly routine, which is Monday bathrooms, Tuesday dust, Wednesday sweep, Thursday mop, Friday catch all, Saturday sheets and towels and that kind of thing. I don't really follow that part, but and then she also has like quarterly tasks that you rotate in, and I'm not quite there with. I don't have like a system to rotate in quarterly tasks or things that you do less often. What I mostly do are like these sort of reset catch up days where like I just found this day. I can't remember what day of the week this was. I think it was a Saturday, and I just realized I had some time, and I knew we had some people coming into town, not necessarily staying with us, but just family that's going to be around and maybe stopping by. And I thought this is a great day to just do some of those things that in the day to day, just sort of upkeep of the house, you don't get to them because they take a little more time. And most weekdays, um, I don't work outside the home, but I do homeschool my kids, and so it's like we're up in the schoolroom working most of the day, and then we have activities, and then we have just the regular like getting meals. So the cleaning needs to fit in to like 10 or 20 minutes a day, although now that my kids are older, that really gets amplified because they can all help. Like we'll all take a room to dust, we'll all take a room to sweep, so we can get a lot more done than I used to when they were smaller, which is really nice. um, and I remember too actually that we have this VCT tile in a couple of the hallways of our house, which was our way of getting the colorful checked floors that we were longing for. And this stuff is great, and you do have to wax it periodically, and then you can also rebuff it to a beautiful shine, which I sort of forget about. So I just remembered that when I was doing the wooden floor, I was like, oh yeah, I can also buff my VCT tile. So I'm going to go ahead and do that too because it's so great. It's such an easy, quick win to see that beautiful shiny floor. I love interior design. It's always been an interest of mine, and I guess that's really why I started my blog and YouTube channel in the first place because I love to talk about those topics. But I think that cleaning is a really important and often overlooked part of interior design because once you've got things arranged and beautifully comfortable in your home, of course it's a constant work to keep it that way. And so I like to think about it that way. And also, a couple more things I guess have been on my mind is well, ever since I started with the Clean Mama cleaning method a few years ago, she really helped me to see that what I really wanted, and this is still a goal, like I don't feel like I'm there yet 100%, but I would love to have my house in a state where I could receive visitors at any time without frantically cleaning or cringing when I think of the state of the bathroom or something. But like if people just drop by, I would be totally relaxed and fine with the state of my home. That's something I've definitely made progress with over the past few years, but it remains a goal. And some things that are helping me kind of get closer to that goal are just looking further into my systems. And that's something I'm hoping to do this summer now that we're not doing school every day, is just have a good think about my systems, which like I mentioned are we have roughly 1 day a week for sort of the big areas of the house. So we do a little bit every day, and we're never cleaning the house from top to bottom on a given day, which I really do not like, even though this day that I'm sharing with you here was kind of a reset day, but it was just a few hours. It wasn't an exhausting all-out sprint to clean a really messy house because we had it basically kept up during the week. But I want to dive deeper into those systems. I want to get more into really knowing what I'm doing, and planning for like quarterly and annually, just things like dusting lampshades, rotating mattresses, baseboards. Fingerprints is something I'd like to add into our sort of weekly upkeep. That was something my mom always had us do, was wipe down all the doorknobs and the door jambs every week. There would be greasy fingerprints, sticky fingerprints, and then that's actually a really quick and easy win too if you just wipe those off weekly. But it's not in my head as like a weekly to-do, so it doesn't get done weekly now. So I just want to think about those things. I think I'm gonna type up some checklists even for my kids, because they are really great helpers, and I think it's a really important part of home life to teach them how to clean. But I've also realized that just as a mom, or as an adult, the things that need to get done just by years of experience, they really don't know that. So when I say mop a room, they don't really know what done looks like. And so I'm going to try this summer to teach them some more about what standards and what does done actually look like, and possibly make checklists for each room. I once lived in a home where it was a shared home, and we had checklists of, like, if it was your week to clean the dining room, you had this really detailed checklist of what that actually entailed and what the expectations were for how that room was supposed to be kept, down to. We gave a dinner party last week, and I haven't gotten around to putting away the fine china and the sideboard yet. It's a little harder to do now because I have my grandmother's set and my mother recently her set, so everything still fits. But now it's more like a Jenga puzzle from my experience living there. So I don't let the kids do it at all. I think that's a really move really heavy stacks life skill set and something I'm still trying to learn. Even as a grown woman and wife and mother to 5.
I really love that. I don't use the china every day, but we do pull it out for special occasions.
Valuable and worth it.
And it has to be hand washed because it's too really old, and it has
some things that I've had to teach myself to do as an adult. Maybe my kids will just automatically know how to do them, and they won't.
But I still think
have to spend that mental energy to
feel very special and festive.
And it's pretty, and it gives me a lot of pleasure, and I actually enjoy just kind of playing with these dishes when I'm putting them away and enjoying them, rearranging them. I don't know if any of you, when you were kids, I remember really enjoying stacking up Mom's china and looking at it or helping her put it away. We would get it out for special occasions, just like I do, but it wasn't an everyday occurrence. But it is nice, I think, to have some festive things if if that's something that brings you joy, and it definitely does bring me joy. My mom also gave me her silver, her wedding silver, which I'm dropping. Oh, sorry, Mom, dropping all over the floor. It is in this lovely felt-lined chest, and my mom has a little note in here that she last polished, of the date and year she last polished it, which is very my mother. She is very organized, and she taught me to polish silver, which I loved doing when I was a kid. It's a wonderful little activity for very young children, like 3, 4, 5 years old. If you have kids that age, I highly recommend putting together a little silver polishing kit and giving them a few pieces to work on, because they will really enjoy it. All kids do seem to. But Mom taught me how to polish silver, and I remember lovingly lining up these knives when I was a child, just like I'm doing now. And then we always wrapped everything except for the knives, which go in this felt thing. We always wrapped everything in Reynolds wrap, not the generic brand, but Reynolds wrap, because it was heavier, and we would wrap everything really tightly in there, and that actually prevents the silver from tarnishing. It's great, actually. it's really effective. If you, the tighter you wrap it, the less air is getting on that silver, and you don't really have to polish your silver quite as much if you wrap it in plastic. I actually use my grandmother's silver as our everyday silverware these days. So since it stays in constant use, it really doesn't get tarnished. Although from time to time I do find I need to polish it. But this is my mom's set, and I'm gonna keep it in the box. So I just carefully rewrapped it in plastic, and who knows when we'll get it out again. Maybe for the next special occasion. Well, I hope you enjoyed coming along with me on this reset day in my housekeeping. I would love to hear your thoughts and insights into housekeeping. I guess my biggest one is I've just realized the more I think about it beforehand and have systems in place and kind of an overarching vision for my house, the easier it gets. And so I'm looking forward to spending more time this summer kind of thinking it all over and creating a real vision for my house, deepening my systems, and that is my goal for the summer. So I'll be looking forward to sharing all that with you as we go along. And please leave your comments below for me. What are your systems? What's worked for you? And let me know if anything I've said has, sparked an idea for you or inspired you. I certainly hope that it has. And I will see you again next week. And I hope you have a lovely week and enjoy the summer weather. Take care, and bye for now.